please hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. Part 4 of Daddy's Little Killers. Meet Mary, Beth, and Linda, 2 daughters who murdered their father, and would have most certainly gotten away with it had they not been both sleeping with the same man. In Part 1, Linda's boyfriend secretly recorded her admitting to her and her sister murdering her dad in cold blood. In Episode 2, that boyfriend then immediately took that information and evidence to detectives. After reviewing the video evidence of her confession, the detectives told the boyfriend to go undercover to gather more information. That was on Episode 3. Now on Episode 4, it's time for Linda Roberts to be in the hot seat.
All right. Linda, I appreciate you coming with us, and we'll discuss everything together. This is my partner, Mike.
Hello.
And I'm Nelson, like I told you. All right. I kind of want to talk to you. There's a couple things on top of talking to you about this incident with your husband.
Yes.
Okay. There's also a couple other things that I want to talk to you too.
Okay.
And I know that I'm looking at, from talking to you in the car, you seem pretty, straightforward. Right?
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm the type of person that I like honesty.
Okay.
All right. And I'll be honest with you, and you be honest with me.
Okay.
Okay. And that's just the way how I work.
Okay.
All right. And my partner is the same way. Okay. So, do you other than your do you know why you're here as well, or no? Okay. Well, I want to explain that to you. Okay. But before doing that, okay, doesn't mean I'm gonna have, here in the United States we have rights, correct?
Correct.
So I just want to, I have to read you your rights. It doesn't mean you're under arrest or anything like that.
You're at a police station.
You're at a police station. We're here. I want to talk to you. Okay?
And we'll give you some information. We'll tell you what's going on.
All right? So let's just get this out of the way, and then we'll move forward. Okay?
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. So, Linda, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time and exercise these rights and not answer any questions. Do you understand these rights I explained to you? Okay. Having your rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us? Okay. Like I said to you, I want to explain everything to you.
Okay.
All right. So, so that's what we're here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now you seem a little nervous now.
Well, somebody's read you your rights, yes.
I understand.
Understandable. Okay.
Well, we'll explain what's going on.
I'll explain.
No.
Okay. So let me back up here. So you said you lived here all your life. You were born here, right?
No, I was born in Chicago.
Born in Chicago.
My father brought us here, and family.
What year was that? Roughly.
1960, early 60s.
Early 60s?
You were young.
Okay.
I
I was
got
a
you.
child.
Okay, so you were very little, so you don't remember.
I don't remember even
Okay.
really, yeah.
So, and you said your father, and then you guys ended up coming here with you said you had a sister, right?
I have a sister, yes.
And what else?
One brother.
One brother. So it's, what, 3 of you?
3 of us.
Where's he at? Where's the brother?
My brother lives in Bradenton,
Okay.
Florida.
What's his name?
Charles Tomaselli.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Want me to spell it? Tomaselli.
Good. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so you guys are down here, and you said, what did you do for 30 years, you said.
Worked as a nurse practitioner.
Linda's bullshit meter is rather high today. She's not a nurse practitioner. She's just a nurse. Here the detective calls her out on her bullshit and asks her where she's registered as a nurse practitioner. He wants to know if it's in the state of Florida.
Well, registered by, you mean,
The Department of Health.
I'm registered as a,
I think it's safe to say that we definitely have some mental issues going on here. She's a pathological liar and definitely has a lot of insecurities going on. Because for her to lie right to a cop's face, knowing that he has access to these records, it takes a special type of person. She's not well.
actually a medical assistant.
A medical assistant.
Well, if you remove 10 years of college, a medical assistant is very much right on par with a nurse practitioner. Almost exactly the same. Let's continue, Linda.
Right.
Okay, what does a medical assistant do?
I assist the doctor in surgery. I assist him anything he does, injections, suture removals.
If I was this detective, I would immediately get off these types of questions because his questioning is making her look insane, and that's not what you want. You want people to pay for their crimes. And so asking about things he knows she's lying about, but not pertaining to the murder, and things that really a person shouldn't even lie about, shows you just how crazy she is. And that's not good for a prosecutor.
Just everything that we do together, hand in hand.
Okay, so do you, is that what class, where did you go for class for that?
Tampa College.
Tampa College. So you are a nurse practitioner, or you're a medical assistant?
It's actually a certified medical assistant.
Okay. And then by that, your job title is you assist the doctor.
Yes. Do assistant surgery.
Where do you guys usually do surgery at?
In the office.
In the office. What kind of doctor is it?
General practitioner. We remove sebaceous cysts in the back, moles, send them out for biopsy, drew blood every day. Just whatever needs to be done during the day.
And do you go to hospitals for those as well, or just
No,
in the office?
we do all in.
Also, Linda never worked in hospice like she claimed.
Do you give injections too?
Yes, give
What kind of
injections.
injections?
Whatever the doctor ordered.
Okay. All right. So
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Okay. So you did this for how long?
30 years.
And when did you retire?
I became disabled when I lost my vision. It was 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yes.
And wait, that would have been 2015.
Yes, I guess. 2015. Yes.
Okay. So I was looking at a report. So your father's deceased, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
About what?
About what happened? What happened?
What happened to my father?
Mm-hmm.
The doctor, his companion died 3 weeks prior to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had dementia.
Okay.
And he was going to go into Brookdale.
Okay.
My brothers and sister and I all decided he was going to Brookdale.
Okay.
So he didn't want to go.
He was adamant about not going to an assisted living.
And what did your mom say and Linda say about that?
They argued with him about it. Like, you need to go. You need to be watched 24/7. Like, kind of like they felt like it would bother me, which my grandfather and I had both agreed that it was not a problem for me to stay and take care of him. He was happy at this point.
Right.
You know, he was happy playing cards with me and watching Price is Right all day and going to lunch. Like, he had a life. He did not want to be stuck in an assisted living facility with old people, as he called it, because I'll just die there. And that's what he said.
Okay.
He did not want to go there. But they were not happy with his decision. My aunt said, I believe it was the night before he passed, or, one of the nights she came to visit, that he was not able to make his own decisions, and she felt like he was incompetent and things like that.
What is your opinion
I
on
disagreed with her.
Okay.
Big time. I disagreed. Sure.
You argued with her about that? Or?
Well, I didn't argue because that's their dad, but I put my 2 cents in and said, like, you know, he's 85. If the doctors don't think he needs to not have a license, that he can drive, they don't think he needs his power of attorney to take over his finances, he doesn't. I don't feel he was incompetent at all.
Okay.
Sure,
you were living with him most of the time.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to ask you.
I mean, except for the last 2 days of his life when he started calling me Mary Beth and my mom Rosalie,
Right.
I started to see a decline those last 2 days. But within the 10 days, you know, sure, he'd forget little things like, did I take my milk of magnesia or did I take my pills? And he would just look in the container, but
For the most part,
he would have been all right to have me stay with him.
Okay.
But he had to go there. It was a beautiful place.
Right.
And my sister and I moved in after Shirley died to help take care of my father because he had nobody.
But
That's nice.
the 2 nights prior, my mom and my aunt were there.
Did they always stay there?
They didn't. I was staying there. Like, they'd come visit him, but I was the one after Shirley died that they wanted to move in because I wasn't working. So they said that, you know, I could come in and stay with him, take him to appointments, keep him company. He'd like to play cards. He'd just like to take walks in the neighborhood.
So I could hear my father had lung cancer 7 years ago.
Okay.
And he was with Shirley, so I wasn't involved in his medical care during that time when Shirley was alive. Well, when I was there, my father he said he felt like he had a stabbing pain in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this awful cough, very productive, and so I recognized that something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So my niece, who was also staying there, I said, call the doctor, make an appointment. They need to do a chest x-ray, see what's going on with his lungs. So they did. So that night at 7 o'clock, the doctor called me, Dr. Zion, and he said that your father they removed the lung cancer and 3/4 of the lung, I believe.
When did they do that?
Probably 5 to 6 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Mary Beth's daughter Lauren said that he did not have a large mass or large tumor and that he never had 3/4 of his lung removed. This is completely made up and again shows you her sanity, thinking they don't have those records. And that he was in much better condition than what these 2 sisters had let on.
Well, the cancer has metastasized to the lung.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, we need him to see first the cardiologist in the morning, first thing. They made an appointment for him. And then they were going to go on to the lung doctor to get a biopsy of what this big mass was. So I said, okay. So he said, my dad told me and my sister, he said, I don't feel good. He says, I'm going to lay down on the couch. And they had 2 rockers on either end. He said, would you mind staying up while I lay down here and sleep?
Okay.
But this night, when he was doing his prayers, he dropped after he had drank, my mom was sitting there, Linda was sitting there.
So who gave him the drink? Do you remember?
I don't know. I don't remember who gave him the drink. But it was an every night thing. Like, he would just have a drink to relax himself. And the doctor, I remember his doctor would tell him that was fine because he was 85 years old.
Absolutely.
So if he wanted to drink, fine. I remember my mom or Linda giving him an anxiety pill because he was getting more anxious. And I was anxious. So about 9, he was like shaking a little bit and dropped his book. I thought something was wrong with him, and I told Linda, I said, there's something wrong with him. Like, that's just not normal. He never sat on the couch. He would always sit in his recliner. This night, he sat, and where Shirley sits was always on the couch. That's where he sat. My mom gave me something, said, here, this will relax you, and just go take a shower and go lay down. It was about 11 o'clock.
So who gave you that?
My mom.
Your
And
mom.
she told me, go ahead, just go take a shower and go to bed.
Did you know what it was?
I don't know what it was because she was my mom. You know what I mean? So I remember feeling really tired. It was about 11 or 12.
So your mom...
I don't remember if it was like a Xanax or if it was just something to help me sleep, because I had been up with him because he was my only father figure at this point. So like I worried about him. So, you know, like if he wasn't in his bed by midnight, I would go say, Papa, let's shut the TV off, let's go to bed.
Okay, so this was, do you remember
It was between 11 and 12
that she gave you that?
that she gave it to me, because she said, go take a
Linda,
shower.
or was it
was
your
my mom.
Your mom gave it
And
to
she
you.
told me to go ahead and go to sleep. That they would stay up with him, because he was starting to call my mom Rosalie. So she was a little concerned. And then he was shaking. And being Linda was a nurse, I, you know, thought both of them could handle it. Like, that was your purpose, not to help me sleep, but so I wouldn't hear what you were doing.
Of course, sure we will. So he went to sleep, snoring away. And it was probably about 2, 3 in the morning. My sister said, why don't we go lay in Dad's bed?
Doing.
Of course, sure we will. So he went to sleep, snoring away. And of course, sure we will. So he went to sleep, snoring away. And it was probably about 2, 3 in the morning. My sister said, why don't we go lay in Dad's bed and get some rest? He's sleeping, he's quiet. So we said, okay. So we get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, about 6 o'clock, and I walked right past them, went into the kitchen to make some coffee, and my sister got up and she went over and checked on him, and she yelled to me, something's wrong, Dad is not responding to me. So I went over there and I checked for a pulse. I felt a pulse, but wasn't thinking my father had a pacemaker in, so of course he's going to have a pulse. But in that instance, you're not even thinking. So I called Dr. Mazer on the phone, and I said, my dad is, something's wrong, he's not breathing. In the meantime, I told my sister, call 911. So she called 911, they came, and I was doing CPR on him. And they came in and they said, I don't remember the exact words, but they said, you need to get off your father now, we're going to continue. And I said, continue CPR on him, please. So anyway, they kind of whisked me off, put me on a chair and said, you have to sit and you have to be quiet, we're going to work on your father. So they rolled him over, and
Is he on the couch or on the floor at this point?
I think they just rolled him over on the couch.
Okay, continue.
And they pulled up the shirt, and he was all black and blue. So when you're deceased, your blood, obviously, it's not circulating. But he still had the pulse going, but that was the pacemaker making the pulse work. So they made out, get all his pills out of the cabinet that he takes, and they said he was short on his sleeping pills. So I said, well, I took him to the doctor several times, to Dr. Zion, and my father was very insistent that he was going to take 2 sleeping pills a night. And he told Dr. Zion that. And Dr. Zion looked at me and he said, well, that's really not the prescribed dose. And my dad said, I don't care, I'm taking 2 sleeping pills every night. So Dr. Zion said, okay, I will prescribe it that way for you. So when the police said, they told my sister we're short, they made my sister count the pills, I said, just call Dr. Zion, you'll straighten the whole thing out, because it's noted in his computer that he was taking 2 pills a night. So they then put him on the floor, and they called the cremation place for my dad, had everything set up.
Right.
And they came out, put a flag on him, because he's a veteran, and took him.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
Did he get, what happened? Is he buried somewhere, or?
Is my dad buried somewhere?
Yeah, where?
He's interned at Sylvan.
Silvanabi.
Yeah,
Okay. You said you have kids, right?
1 daughter.
1 daughter. What do you usually, people make mistakes, and I get that, okay? And when your daughter makes a mistake, you want her to be honest with you, right?
Of course.
Of course, and that's the way you raise her, right? So if she does something or she did a mistake, you want her to, part of it, you learn from your mistakes. Isn't that how you raise it? So I don't think, you're not being very honest with me right now.
What do you mean?
Because that's not what happened with your father, okay? And you know that, okay? You know that that's not what happened with your father. So I want you to tell me again, from the beginning, what happened with your father.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
The story, I'm going to lay it out for you. The story that you just provided to him is not what happened to your dad.
What happened to my dad?
I want you to go back and walk through this one more time. You need to pay attention to what's going on here, okay? What you said happened to your dad is not what happened to your dad. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Not especially. What has changed that didn't happen to my father?
Okay.
So this is what I want you to think about it real hard right now, okay? Because your father, that's not exactly how it happened, okay? And you know that, okay? So I'm going to give you, because when I'm asking you questions, I already know the answer to it, okay? And right now, I get it. You're nervous, you're keeping this in, and you're going with the same story that you had told the other officer when they originally came, but that's not what happened.
We've been doing an investigation, and that's not what happened, and you know that's not what happened. We're paying you the compliment of being upfront with you. You need to pay us the same compliment and tell us what actually happened.
Who is giving you information, other information?
Ma'am, I want to hear from you, okay? And I want to talk to you about it, okay? So I know what happened, and I'm giving you the opportunity right now to talk to us and tell us your side of the story.
This is unbelievable.
I agree.
Does my sister know about this?
I know what your sister did.
You know what my sister did?
I know what she did, and I know what you did. So, right now, it's not to continue to tell us the story that you're telling me is not right. I get your father was sick. He was ill. People make mistakes, okay? And I know everything, okay?
From a trustworthy person, you know everything?
Who's not trustworthy?
Who's not trustworthy?
Somebody obviously told you something that could possibly not be trustworthy. The person is not a trustworthy person. And it's not Ted, for sure, I can tell you that.
Okay. I know what your sister did, and I know what you did.
I don't understand.
I don't know who this person that you're talking about, but I know everything.
Well, I don't quite understand who would say anything to you. Who is this person that is giving you this information? Don't I have a right to know that? They didn't leave a name. They didn't tell you who they were.
They gave us a very detailed account of what happened, so I'm just trying to tell you there's no mystery about what happened.
They gave a detailed account?
Yes. I'm not bluffing, and you know I'm not bluffing.
And I'm not. And I'm being up front with you. Okay? And I know things. And it's time right now for you to, I know it's been weighing in on you all these years, which would be understandable. Okay? It would be understandable. That's normal to weigh in this much.
But I don't believe the person that told you is a trustworthy person, and that.
All right.
Well, who is that person you're talking about? What are you talking about? You keep saying this person's not trustworthy. What person do you have in mind?
A certain person that.
Well, I know, but what is that person's name?
Anthony Marsh.
Then why is he not trustworthy?
Well, you can look up his criminal background and see that he's been in a lot of trouble.
Okay, and what's your relationship with him?
I am single, I was seeing him for a short time. I was seeing him.
And when did that start and when did that stop?
It started in probably July of last year, and I still continue to have seen him.
Okay, so it's an ongoing, so it's still happening, so you're not historically past that. That's an in-progress thing still happening. You see him on a relatively routine basis, right?
Well, routine, but I don't know what you call routine.
Okay, I'm not going to split hairs with you. Routine with the definition of right. You see him frequently.
At least weekly.
Okay, weekly. We'll settle on that. That's fine. And you feel that this person's untrustworthy.
Very untrustworthy.
Then if he's so untrustworthy, why are you still with him?
Probably for the same reason I was with Ted.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What do you think about as your sister? You guys get along?
Well, we have our whole life just got along.
Okay.
Recently had a little mishap in our life, but yes, we love each other very much.
You love each other. So
we left the apartment loving each other.
Okay. And does she tell you everything?
Oh, I don't know if she tells me everything.
No.
By everything you mean?
Everything. I mean,
we talk, but
what's your relationship? Are you guys like best friends?
yes, we were very close.
So you trust her?
Yes.
Trust her with everything?
Yes, I trust her.
And she trusts you?
I think so.
Right?
Yes.
That's the bond that sisters and siblings have, especially sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, you got to trust her, right? So you keep, and I know what happened between you two was staying between you two, correct?
Anything in our lives that happened to us?
Anything that you guys do,
Anything.
whether it's good, bad, or the other.
Having our children weeks apart, yes. And her husband was abusive to her, yes. They stayed between us.
Okay. So let's talk about your father again. Okay. Tell me about what happened that day.
If you're trying to get me to say what Anthony told you,
I don't. Anthony didn't tell me anything. I don't know what you're talking about, this Anthony. Okay?
Anthony's the only person that we were joking around and things were said.
Okay. You mind if I step in? Go ahead.
Other than your sister, correct?
Other than my sister? Yes.
So your sister knows what happened, correct? The real truth of what happened, correct?
My sister and I are bonded together, yes.
Correct. And you guys share a bond that is something that no one else can ever share, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you said here that your sister is very trusting to you, right?
Yes.
I know exactly what happened that night. So this is your opportunity.
You have to tell me who told you something different happened that night. Who told you something different happened? There has to be somebody that told you something.
I know about the drink.
But who told you?
I'm just gonna. Okay, let me just walk you through this a little bit, just to bring you up to speed. Okay, the conversation that you had with Mr. Marsh,
Yes.
we were listening to that conversation. Okay?
Okay.
So we can cut to the chase that there was no joking about this. I have crystal clear clarity, so you can read between the lines, okay? I actually had the same clarity with your sister
You talked to her?
about an hour ago. So I'm going to tell you one more time. You're not going to come out on the end of this in a very good fashion because you're telling the truth about what happened. We tried to give you ample opportunity to tell what happened, but now you know that I know what happened.
I wanted to know who told it.
I just told you that.
Okay.
So we're going to cut through the BS. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Now answer his questions and let's move forward with this. Okay? Do you understand?
I understand, but you don't have to be rough with me.
Ma'am, I've given you 3 or 4 opportunities to tell the truth, and we were very upfront with you, and you're not being upfront with us. He said, I'm going to be very upfront with you about what happened, and you kind of disrespected him a little bit by not doing that. I'm just trying to put us on the right path here. Do you understand that?
Okay.
We will be fine, but I can't have you wandering off the reservation. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay, so now let's walk through this again.
So talk to us a little bit now.
Okay.
Tell me
My
the truth.
sister and I were lying in bed, and my father had dementia. He was calling both me and my sister by my mother's name. I knew he was dying because he had this mass in his lung, cancer. And she said to me, she held my hand and she said, I can't remember the exact words, but you can't let Dad suffer like this. And we were both crying. And so she said, can we euthanize him some way to put him out of his misery?
Who said this? I didn't hear that part.
I don't know who said it.
But it was said, is what you're saying.
It was said.
This way I understand what you're saying. Go, continue, sorry.
And I said, well, he takes his double sleeping pills, so would you give him a few more sleeping pills? And he would just go to sleep.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know whose idea it was particularly. My sister and my...
Is she low-key trying to make her sister look more guilty than she is? She says her sister and her dad had been fighting terribly and that she went home
to her house, and they had very, very harsh words the night before.
What kind of harsh words?
He was calling her not nice names, saying that it's hard to remember exactly, but they were yelling. They had a yelling match at each other.
Okay.
So she did have an anger at that time.
Okay. So then what happened?
So I felt very bad for my father that he was suffering so bad. He was in pain. He couldn't breathe. He was having labor breathing. And so we took him for a ride for the beach. He always wanted to go to the beach. And then we brought him home, and she took his sleeping pills.
How many?
I don't know. She probably put maybe 10, if I had to guess.
Okay.
into a big glass of, he always had a shot of vodka before he went to bed. And she made this big giant drink for him to drink with the chicken pills in it. He drank maybe this much of it.
Okay.
And he had his little St. Joseph card he reads at night, and he dropped them. And he lay down and went to sleep.
And then what happened?
He opened his eyes, but then he closed them immediately after he opened them. And my sister said, he's obviously not, it's not working. And
He's not dead?
Yeah, he had not died, right. And
How was he acting during this? Just everything was normal, or was he off kilter? Did it have any effect on him at all, or anything?
oh yeah, he was semi-conscious, I would say.
Understood.
So my sister and I both said, well, we've started euthanizing him.
Understand.
We have to finish it now.
Okay, and what'd you do?
So I just got a hand washcloth.
Who got the hand washcloth?
I believe I did,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sure. Because
Where did it come from?
the bathroom.
Okay.
And she held his nose,
Mm-hmm. And what'd you do?
and I put the washcloth in his mouth and
To block the airway?
blocked the airway. And it was just...
Did he move around? Was he trying to fight it a little bit?
He acted like he had to go to the bathroom, is what the main thing I remember about it.
Okay.
And he urinated.
Did anyone hold his hands?
I did not hold his hands.
Did your sister hold his hands?
She may have.
To stop him from fighting or anything?
He wasn't fighting too much because he was drugged from the sleeping
Okay.
pills.
But there was some movements there.
He did move his hands.
Okay, that's what we're asking. Okay.
All right, so,
And she was holding his nose.
okay.
And he stopped breathing, but he still had a pulse. But I didn't realize he had a pacemaker. I did realize it then, that it took me a while to realize why he still had a pulse, because he had a pacemaker in.
So then at that time when you realized once he had died, what did you do? What did you guys do at that time? Because what time did this happen at night? Was it in the middle of the night?
Probably towards the middle of the night, yeah.
Okay. Was there anyone else in the house?
Yes, my niece.
Okay.
She was in the other bedroom.
All right. What did you guys do to her?
Well, we didn't do anything to her. She asked for a sleeping pill because she was having a lot of anxiety.
And what kind of sleeping pill did you give it to her?
Yes, I gave her one of my Ambien.
You gave her.
But not one of his, meaning your
I
father's.
believe it was his now.
You think it was one of yours? Because you gave your own prescription.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's back up here. So the night before, or was it the night before that you and your sister were talking about wanting to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the night that she had the bad argument with my father.
Okay, so you two are laying in bed, and then you guys discussed about wanting to end his life. Is that correct?
Well,
This,
I took it as euthanasia. I'm sorry. I've been in the medical field. I felt I was putting
What-
it as-
Oh, I understand that. No, I understand that's what your thought process, but there was some discussion about it the night before that this was going to happen. This wasn't like a 2-second thing.
No.
They just did it. There was some discussion because obviously you want to make sure your sister's on board with this. I mean, you could see that could be a problem. You both weren't.
Yes, we
Okay.
both felt that at the time that...
So you talked about it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, okay. I understand.
so then, whose idea was it for the pills?
Well, I don't remember exactly, but she said, Dad has sleeping pills, and I said, yes, sleeping pills would be the easiest, and he would just go to sleep.
Did you, what kind of pills was it that you guys gave him?
I believe he took Restoril
Restoril?
at the time. Yes.
Did you give him any of your pills?
I honestly don't remember, because I had them for me. They were mine.
So you don't know if you gave him your pills?
Exactly, to be honest with you, I don't remember. I remember giving it to, she got the, I don't know who even got the pills, the rest of the room.
I know you tried when he woke up and opened his eyes, and you guys went ahead and did the washcloth.
Right.
Prior to doing the washcloth, you used a pillow, and it didn't work.
Well, that I don't remember, honestly, using a pillow. That, honest to God, I do not remember using a pillow. I'm honest with you about that. I don't remember ever saying I used a pillow. We used a pillow.
No, not.
Not do you remember saying it, do you remember the incident in which you used the pillow? That's different. That's a different question.
I don't remember using a pillow. I just remember getting the washcloth.
Well, because you tried the pillow first.
I don't remember, I honestly do not remember using a pillow.
Okay.
I don't remember a pillow being used.
But you did, so when he was laying on the couch, okay, and he opened his eyes, and when you went to get the washcloth, where did you get it again?
His bathroom, the master bathroom.
And where was your sister when this was going on?
She was with him alone.
Was he out of it, or was he trying to get up, or?
No, he didn't try to get up. He moved his arms. I remember that. That I remember.
Now, is it true that he did not want to go to that group home, or the?
Correct.
And was it a burden watching your dad? Because
No,
you guys had to spend so much time going there?
No, that was nothing to do with being a burden. He was going to be in a beautiful place. He had the insurance that covered it.
But he didn't want to go there.
They were going to have to put him eventually, when he got there, they were going to put him, I'm sure,
But
in the Alzheimer's lockdown.
He didn't like it, is what I'm saying. Whether it was the best thing for him or not, he personally did not like it.
He was begging a lady, Shirley's niece, who was known to be on crack cocaine, he was begging her to stay with him and take care of her, when we knew she was on crack cocaine.
No, I understand this. But the long and the short of it is that he was resistant to go in there. Regardless if it was the best thing for him, all these other collateral matters, he was resistant to go in there. Is that correct?
He was resistant because he did not have his mind.
I understand, but we're just walking through this. I'm just saying,
Right.
I'm not saying that wasn't the best thing for him. We're not getting into any of that. I understand where you thought it was, and maybe it was. I'm just saying he personally was resistant to it for whatever variety of reasons. So he just didn't want to do it.
No.
Okay,
no,
that's all.
there.
And so you and your sister were spending a lot of time there taking care
Well,
of
my niece was.
And your
We
niece?
were working.
Okay.
She watched him during the day.
But then when you get home from work, that's where you were staying?
Yes.
Okay. And then what made the decision to do this? Why did it prompt that night?
When the doctor called and told me that he had this giant mass in his lung that was solid and that he could live 2 weeks,
2 months?
2 months,
You have no idea.
I had no idea.
It was that more likely it was going to be fatal.
It was
Okay,
fatal.
that's what I'm trying to say. Okay.
And he was in such misery and mentally so out of it that you know the rest of the story.
My guess is, let me ask you this: you must have been torn about this. I mean,
I was terribly torn about it.
I understand you had your father that's there and he's suffering, but ultimately this was not proper or not lawful. Let's just put it that way. They're a smart person.
At the time, I felt I was euthanizing my father and helping him.
I understand that.
That is my honest answer I can give you.
But looking back and looking at it, I mean, you're smart. You got your certification. You're with the, for an assistant, okay, medical assistant. You're a smart lady. I mean, do you think that's lawful for someone to do?
Take the morality out of
As
it.
Anthony told me, no, it was not lawful.
You don't. Let me ask you this: you don't know independently of Anthony telling you that whether that was right. Forget was it morally right or anything. I'm just saying lawfully. You had to know that that was not lawful. It was legal to do that.
No, I guess it is not legal to do that.
Right. Because if it was legal to do that, you would have came out and just told us what happened, and you didn't do that. You knew there had to be a downside to this.
Already told me that it was not legal to do what we did. I felt I euthanized him and put him on sick leave.
I understand.
I have nothing else to say.
No, I understand. But that's because you saw your dad was suffering. I totally understand that. But if you take that part of it out, the act of just doing that is not lawful, is what I'm trying to say. This is where we're at. That's why there's a problem.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I'm saying, just so you know.
Let me ask you this. Did you guys get an inheritance or anything from your father?
We all three got inheritance.
And how much did you get?
Myself,
Yes.
about $110,000.
You got 110?
Split evenly.
Between the three of you,
Yes.
you, your sister, and your brother.
Yes, I was the power of attorney.
So how much did you personally get out of?
I got no more than my brother and sister. Everything was split evenly.
And it was 110 split 3 ways.
About that.
Okay.
And it was his house that sold his brother.
And then you got his house that sold.
I didn't get it. It was split evenly between the
Okay,
three.
so you had the house, you guys split the house in 3, and then 110,000? Is that?
Maybe I misunderstood. Did you get 100? Did you each get 110,000 apiece? Is that what you're saying? Am I clear on that, or?
About. I have to.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Though.
I think we're
I was confused.
misunderstanding that you didn't split 110,000. You each got 110,000. Is that what
About that.
roughly? I'm just saying, just so
Roughly.
we're clear on what we're talking about. Okay. Now let me ask you. What's your brother's name again?
Charles
Right.
Tomaselli.
Now, what does he know about what we just talked about here? Does he know any of this, or does he just think this just went the way you guys are traded? No way the family knows, your sister knows, but that's it.
Correct.
Okay.
And no one else knows?
No. Other than Anthony.
Okay.
And did your niece, what did you say to your niece in the morning when you guys discovered him, when you told him?
Thought he had died during his sleep.
Did he have any, did he urinate or anything like that during
Yes.
the process? Was that happening, when did that happen? Was it during,
I guess it was when he was dying. He urinated, which is normal.
is that when you guys were, when you had the rag over his mouth and your sister had her finger closing his nose?
Okay. Before we got into kind of what I'll call the truthful section of what happened here, you'd said that Anthony was not a trustworthy person. Now, when you say that, my feeling about that is that you were trying to deflect what he was going to tell us, but I will tell you that it was spot on. So I'm just trying to tell you, your opinion about Anthony may be different, but it's not about him being untruthful about this, because I'm just telling you what was said was almost verbatim. So,
Well, if he was wired, obviously.
okay, this is what I'm trying to say, but you try to portray him as being an untrustworthy person as it pertains to this, when in fact you know that's the case, because obviously, you know, we heard verbatim and he's not untrustworthy when it comes to this case. That's,
Maybe to this, but other things.
oh, he may be, I have no knowledge about that, but I'm talking about as it pertains to this. You were trying to lead us to believe that he was untrustworthy about this particular thing, and that's actually not the case. You understand that?
Yes, I
Okay.
understand it.
And I'm not condoning any other behavior which I have no knowledge of that he's involved or not involved in. I'm talking about as it pertains to this is all I'm concerned about. You understand what my question is? You understand that? Okay.
So he came to you with this?
Do you have, let me ask you this, and I know this may be, are you, basically, when you came and told us this right now, I know you were driving, are you under any influence at all?
Illegal drugs?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I never take illegal drugs.
Okay. All right. And the,
I take my heart medication, I take my thyroid medication, I take my mild tranquilizer
mhm.
that is prescribed by an MD. I never have taken illegal drugs.
Okay. And also, let me ask you this. The night that this happened, were you of sound mind and you were not on illegal
Taking my
narcotics?
regular-
No, I understand, but you weren't high on complete, another set of drugs. You said you don't do that. I'm just making sure that's what we're talking
I
about.
don't do
Okay.
Were you
Okay.
drunk?
No.
Okay.
So you guys made this decision to do this, to put, like, how you just told us here, put your father out of his misery. You guys decided to do that together.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Would you like to chat with your sister?
I don't mind chatting with my sister, of course not.
Okay. All right.
Well, like I explained to you, this is not, you are going to jail today, okay? And you are going to be arrested. All right?
Okay, but I do need my heart medicine. And
Oh, no, we'll take care. We're not going to.
Yeah, this is.
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
I was going to pick it up at Publix.
All right.
So,
We'll make arrangements for that. What I want to do is, I'm going to put your hands up. Hang on. We're going to bring her sister in here. Hang on, let me just get up here. This is my telephone.
just hold on one second.
Okay. You want to do this or do it?
No, yeah, do that.
So you just stick your hands out, that's all. Let me see. Are they going to stay in there? Have a seat. Just gonna keep your purse. You have no weapons or anything. I know you have a gun, but you don't have it in here.
No, it's in my car.
It's in your car?
In the glove compartment.
It's legal. It's legal. No, I'm just asking that. I have to see what you're saying. Sometimes I can't understand what you're saying. I'm not questioning it. I can't hear it. So. Your sister's in the room next door.
All right.
And we're gonna bring her in. You guys can have a little.
Conversation, or be recording, everything's on.
If you want to have a conversation that's not,
I mean, I'd just like to know if I'm on camera and I be recording.
I understand.
I think that I have that right.
Hi,
There we go.
I'm Detective Thompson with the Palace County Sheriff's Office. Need to search.
Just make sure you don't have anything on you, and
Yep,
you're a
just make
female,
sure
obviously.
you've got nothing on you. You've got nothing on you that's gonna hurt me, poke
I
me,
have
stick me.
sunglasses in my
That's okay.
pocket.
You can deal with sunglasses, but nothing that's gonna hurt me, poke me, stick me. Nothing illegal. Okay. Those fake pockets.
Take that.
Nothing in your bra. Nothing that's gonna.
No.
No. Okay. Just gotta check, make sure you got nothing there. I don't want my detectives hurt. Right here.
Oh, hang on. We're supposed to not go in there. Oh, absolutely.
Nothing else on you, nothing that I can't see? Okay, have a seat for me.
Okay, perfect.
Just had sunglasses.
Okay, take care of that.
We're gonna, hey, what else is in there? It's pretty heavy. Just regular stuff?
Open it, you can see what's in there.
Okay.
My
Your
wallet.
phone. Okay,
All right.
all right. Nothing in there of any.
Okay, I do have my afternoon medication in there to take.
Okay, that's okay. I'm not taking, I just wanna see what was in it. No, we're totally fine.
But I do need to take it because I remember the heartbeat and
When are you supposed to take it? We'll give this back to you, but you're not, don't you have it in
usually
here?
1:30. I don't know what time it is.
About 20 after 1. I'll bring you some water. How about that?
Okay,
All
get
right.
my wallet.
Is in your wallet?
My wallet.
All right. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna bring your sister, who's right across the street here. All right? You guys just hang out for a few. She can sit here with you. Thank you. I gotta bring her some water too, so you can bring that.
Come in here and see your sister from
I have to give her some water because she's got some medication to take, so. You guys, have a little alone time there?
Hear what her and her sister are saying here because of the audio being in a different location, but I did make out that her sister's asking her if he was wearing a wire, and she confirms that he was.
What to say? What do you mean you don't know what to say? Can't I say anything? You didn't say anything to them? Yes, I had to tell them. And so did I. Because you told someone. I know. Because I thought I could trust him. I never recorded in here. I already asked. I already told him I knew it was. He came to my house. Who did? Anthony. When? Thursday. And he told you he was going to do this? Told me he wanted to speak to me. Scared the shit out of me in my driveway. In my car. In the garage. Because I had to talk to someone very important. Well, I had no idea what could be so important. He insisted I let him in the house. And told me what you told him. Then he was trying to blackmail. What do you mean? Have sex with him or he'll turn me in. I said, if you turn me in, I'm not having sex with you. I have nothing to say. But he came back. Tried again. This is nothing to do with you. You never could trust him. Why? I thought this was something quite good. I thought I could trust him. Why? I was having a hard time. I was having dreams. I was. Yeah, you had. You weren't speaking to me. I had no one to talk to. You weren't speaking to me either. Now look at us. We're going to fucking jail. My life is over. So is mine. I thought about taking this string and hanging myself in the other room. Taking these off of here and hanging them in the room and killing myself just now. Take them off. What? These springs come out of my boots. Well, are you gonna hang yourself? I was gonna tie it so tight that I couldn't breathe. Anyone on this earth, the man has stolen from you, lied, cheated on the worst person on earth. We know what we did, and we did it for a reason. I told him why we did it. It doesn't matter what you tell that monster. I told the police when we did it.
I told him why we did it. When I thought my father had dementia and he was getting worse every day. He was uncontrollable. And we had gotten a call with the lung cancer. It's true that none of it's a lie.
I know you said our stories matched exactly.
However, Anthony said it was my idea. You told him it was my idea.
I told him you had argued with Dad the night before. You had
We all had an argument with Dad. Dad called us back several times.
But it was a bad argument in the house. I remember
A
you
bad
guys
argument in the house? Over what? Because I wouldn't let him eat something?
No, because he didn't want to go to Brookdale. And
Well, he was mad at all of us. I'm not the one that doesn't matter. That had nothing to do with me.
am I allowed to get my medicine?
I don't know. My purse is in my car. They arrested me at work.
Give me my purse. I mean, it's time for me to take my medicine. They have to let you take your heart medicines back. For God's sakes. They asked me if I was on illegal drugs. I said,
Heroin what?
illegal drugs. I don't take any illegal drugs. I'm just getting my medicine. Can you get it for me?
Joe will give you your medicine.
Okay. So we are on camera.
Of course you are. Are you stupid? Her secret was safe.
He was wired.
It was wired.
Yes.
He said, how do I know you're recording me? But the same story was told then was told now. As soon as I saw that picture, I saw a picture in the folder here, I saw a picture of Dad. I knew. No, I went to Rome too. I'm done. I'm jail the rest of my life. How do you know you had a body?
He told me to be wired. I must have come here first and they wired me. Oliver's the one in the house. Somebody has to take care of Oliver.
You're worried about Oliver?
Well, I want to let the dog die.
You're not worried about us dying?
I know my life's over.
You would be dead.
I can't believe I told him and confided in him.
Yeah. Why didn't you call me? You were speaking to me. So what? At that time, we did what we felt. That wasn't going to make it. He made a bad got surgery. He was going to go through chemotherapy. That doctor said that the tumor took up his lung. We knew it was matter. He may have lived on for what, a year or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what his fate was. But his dementia and so forth was very, very bad. I knew even when he was doing We put him in Brookdale. He wasn't going to last in the regular room anyway. We've already discussed this. And at that moment, I couldn't handle watching Dad suffer that way. He wasn't living. He wasn't living in life. One minute he was in real life, and the next minute he wasn't in real life.
Getting freezing in here.
Yeah, it's freezing. I asked if I could have a jacket, and he said, no. I've been here since 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, they came to my work. It's getting out of my car. He said, teaching me right, I knew that it was yeah, so, I didn't know if I was supposed to call an attorney. I didn't know what to do. They said they had questions to ask me. I answered the question. Well, I've never been through this before. It's done now. Anyone on this earth that you thought you could trust was him. The man who tried to steal from you and everything and things that he put you through. You thought you could trust that person?
Well, he said he was trustworthy, police officer.
He was trustworthy. Well, he's a very good actor.
So,
That's it.
you're in the same jail. I don't think there's anything else to talk about right now.
No, there isn't. Just what my life was. After all these years.
Life took off over.
Huh?
Life took off over.
Oh, they come. No. This is not God punishing us. No, it isn't. So you don't. Well, then why didn't you go to church and confess when you went to church and confess?
And
You went to the priest's time.
now I didn't talk to the priest. Confess to God and cry.
Well, we've done that for every night.
They have no right to keep my heart medication from me.
Well, I'm on I'm blood pressure medication too. And potassium. I'll die in 3 days.
Huh?
They didn't ask me what medications I'm on. I'll die in 3 days without my medications. I can't go without blood pressure medication. I can't go without potassium. Do I water pill? Or thyroid?
I'm probably checking the 3 pills that I have. Mine.
They didn't even let me take my purse. My purse is
All
in
I
my
had to do
car.
was punch in the computer my way out.
Call Andy.
I'm calling. I checked. I just got here.
Did they come to your door at your house?
No, I was putting an injunction against Ted.
You were here?
No, I was at 49th Street.
Oh,
They called me on our way home.
and what did they say?
He said, we waited for you to get home.
I don't know your address. I don't get your phone number. Never gave me your address. I don't know. Except in the next.
I'm sure Anthony cared too.
Well, if you have a phone number, I'm sure you could look it up or your name.
I'm sure Anthony cared too.
Mr. Honorable. For those things you accused him of, and you thought you could trust him? We did what we did. But no one was in our situation. No one saw Dad the way we did.
I told him
That's the way it may not make it right. That's the way I felt. That's the way I felt at that point. I couldn't watch my father suffer that way. It had nothing to do with his money.
Nothing.
I take my dentures away too.
Can't do it.
How do you know?
Come on.
Come on.
I'm sure they'll take all our jewelry.
I don't care what they take. My life is over.
So's mine.
We'll be in prison the rest of our life. Or we could get the death sentence. You know that, right?
I don't know what they're charging us with. They haven't charged us anything yet.
guys always in the same room together.
So do you want your sister to read the tale? I said yes. Go with the paint on now. Goodbye.
Tomorrow is the anniversary. Why did you tell me that it was my idea?
To be honest with you, I don't remember some of the conversation. I can't remember it. My memory is not what it used to be after the stroke. So I particularly don't remember the exact conversation.
That you had with him?
Yes.
So you told him that it was my idea. And you know it was not my idea. We spoke about it. We agreed upon it. To watch them.
We had that argument.
Look how many times Dad called us back to the house. Called it, said who was judge and jury to put him in the assisted living. He called us all. When did we all turn into attorneys? You don't remember that? We're judges? I was halfway home to Dan's house that night. Chuck was there. He was closer to Sunshine Sky, but he couldn't turn around. But that had nothing to do with it. It was watching Dad suffer the way he was. He had no life left. But perhaps it was not a hard choice to make that decision. And that is what we're here for. It wasn't a hard choice. We lived with him. We spent the night with him. We saw it. The way he was not living a life. I think from our perspective, that's the way we felt. I felt it was better for Dad to live in peace than to try to go through a surgery and his mind keep getting worse and worse. I told you he was a trustworthy man. After all those things you said you hired a private detective and found out about him.
Well, was mostly assets and things like that.
And they gave it in prison.
Oh, I know it. There's a check, but he's not the one that did anything right now. Well, yeah. But here's a rap sheet along with them. We do not.
Well, it's over now. Our lives are over. We're done. We're dead. You hate me that much? Well, you did. I can't breathe.
I was having a stroke and I just died.
Do we get an attorney?
Can you hire our own or get one?
Okay.
We have your keys. Because of where your daughter works, we have to make contact with her. Okay?
Yes.
Do you want to give her these keys? Is that okay or no?
Oh, yeah.
And these are your glasses. Those are yours.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
this will go with your property.
That's it. Just because if she has to get access to anything or do whatever,
Okay.
she's a trustworthy person.
Where's the, I am lower than heartbeat. I could die if I don't have a medication.
We're taking you to the jail now. We have a full hospital out the jail. Okay, we have doctors, they have every medication you can imagine. We spend millions of dollars a year on medications out there.
And I'm on blood pressure
Yeah.
too.
Okay,
Those are mine.
They will take care of you guys, I promise you. We have a building that's bigger than most hospitals out there. It's a medical facility.
Switch out cuffs. And
Okay.
Okay.
Back and then I can just
Oh.
get mine when I get to the
They
gym.
administer drugs and
That's
they'll give you a full checkup.
That's also perfect.
Okay?
Johnny prepared. So
And
Deputy Leader here is gonna give you guys a ride.
So that's another thing he's going for.
Does my other daughter know yet?
We're gonna go talk to her. The detectives will.
No, we're
We're
on
gonna
that.
talk to your daughter now.
Okay.
All right?
How about my dog?
Your daughter?
Her husband is from old attorney.
Okay.
We need to speak to them. There's other people we need to speak with, so that'll be one of them also, so.
You didn't ask me her name. My daughter, did you?
We know your daughter.
We knew, we had this background, we just didn't tell you all that, so.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's one we don't know about. But
Oh, okay.
Okay?
you just switch these out real quick for you, and, that's for us.
I'll keep them up front.
Okay.
These are yours, yes, and those are mine, is that right? Okay.
How about my dog that's alone in the condo?
Is there someone we can call it to make
My
that
daughter.
happen? Okay,
What's her?
She
We'll
needs
get that,
to
we'll do
keep
that.
in. She needs to keep in and out.
Okay. That's it, just put these in your bag right behind you.
I
Where are
know these
your
are
keys
hinged,
at?
But like I said, keeping them up front, they're gonna be exactly the same.
They're in my purse. I
They're hinged
Okay.
instead of chain. I don't know if you noticed the difference,
No,
but
I
it'll
don't know.
be pretty much the same thing.
Linda, what's your daughter's phone number?
771-3311.
Keep your hand turned this way.
And her first name?
Yeah, just straight up and down. That's perfect.
Take her keys.
And then I'm gonna.
So you want them to give us your daughters, they get the dog,
I
and
know,
all that stuff,
tight
right?
spots,
Yeah,
okay?
but I don't know how long the dog and nobody there.
We'll take care of
Stand
that,
by one
okay?
second. I'm gonna switch the cuffs out. And we'll leave them up
All right. Yeah, no, that's hers. Here, I got it, alright, I got it, let's put this back in. Stick it back in there. That's her keys. You hang onto these, because I'm.
So these ones are the ones for the apartment.
Those are mine.
The pink one opens the door.
And then give,
And we will contact her.
and then I'll give this to Ann. Okay?
Alright, we're on board.
You're gonna give all my keys to my
Yes,
dog.
I'm gonna give this to your
Yeah.
daughter. Okay?
And I'm giving yours.
She can have.
Okay, I'm just
my
making
dog
sure
can
we're all
have-
good.
My dog can have everything.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, sir.
And again, I'm gonna double lock these, that way, they don't stitch down, okay? Alright, ladies ready?
Okay.
Alright. We're gonna walk down this way. You got the purse, I don't know whose this is, but we'll go with you. Is this yours?
No, it's hers.
It's hers? Okay, I'll make sure they know that's out of the jail.
She has had a stroke,
Okay.
and so
They
she.
have excellent medical
I
care
know,
down at
but I
jail.
mean for her walking downstairs and down.
Well, if we don't walk down, we'll take the
Okay.
elevator, okay?
And,
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted whenever we upload the final 3 episodes in this series later this week. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.